This video is sponsored by Samsung Memory. What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and you know what this is. It's the Gadget backpack. It's been a while since we talked about the stuff that I've been keeping inside of here, but we do have to talk about at least one of the upgrades that I made, and it's this guy over here, the Samsung T7 Touch. Now, if you guys have been following the Gadget backpack series, every year I have some version of the T external storage line, from the first T1, T3, T5, even the X5, but now we've got the T7 Touch. And with that Touch, we've got some special features inside of this. And today we're gonna talk about why this is a necessary upgrade to the Gadget backpack. Now, if you aren't familiar with the T series of solid state drives, they're basically external solid state drives that are super compact. You can take them anywhere, and they usually range from about 500 gigs all the way up to 2 terabytes of storage. So you're getting a lot of storage on a really tiny device. And I told you guys, I used to use all of them, and they actually had some pretty interesting designs, but compact was always what they were. So check this out. We have the T1 over here, super slim, one of the slimmest that they had. But then they decided to go ahead and add some durability. And this is where the T3 came in. T3 had this nice, interesting grip, kind of kept with the overall look of the T1. Then with the T5, they dropped the grip, they dropped this little side panel. And then with the T7 Touch, they managed to make it even slimmer. Oh yeah, and this is the X5. So this is a little bit different from the T series, but I use them all regardless. Whenever a new one comes out, I gotta get my hands on it because there's always increased performance or some new features that make them really worthwhile. So what's so special about the T7 Touch? Why did I feel like I needed to upgrade, right? Well, like I said, not only does it have like this super slim form factor now, which is even thinner than the T5, which is nuts, but beyond that, you'll see right here, we have a fingerprint sensor. So with the fingerprint sensor, what you're able to do is, of course, add some security to your external drive. Now, this is clutch. If you happen to have sensitive documents on here that you don't want on your computer, or you just don't want anyone having access to, you can keep it all on here and nobody will be able to get into the drive unless they've got your fingerprint. So if you're doing like professional work, business documents are usually pretty private. Anything that you want to just keep away from others, you throw it on here and you get really fast access to it once you plug it in. So check this out. Once I'm ready to use it, I could just plug it in. Then of course, throw my fingerprint down on it. And then the T7 Touch will pop up once it recognizes my fingerprint. And then boom, I have access to it. And there I am. It's like the only thing I have on this right now. And that's awesome because when you don't have your fingerprint scanned and you open it, you don't have a writable version of the hard drive. You can see, you can read these files, and these are like the system files that come on it. So you have access to those, but you can't do anything else with the drive. So that is awesome because God forbid you have important documents on here and you, I don't know, misplace your drive or you leave it somewhere. You don't have to worry about prying eyes. You can even just keep it on a computer and not have to worry about anyone just having access to your files all willy-nilly. So that added security is awesome. Now these external SSDs, not only do they have like nice convenient form factors and like special features like the fingerprint scanner, but they're also really fast. So let's actually check this out and see what a speed test will yield us. If you look on this list, you'll see we'll be able to edit some 4K footage up to 60 FPS. And for a guy like me, who probably want to take this thing on a shoot, I'd be able to take this, shoot some footage, transfer files directly over to it, pass on projects to my man Jay over here so he could take it home, chop it up. And it just makes for an easy workflow. This is why it's actually the main reason we've been carrying around all of these different solid state drives from Samsung. Jay can take one of these, edit at home, bring it over to my place, throw it up on this computer. It just makes our workflow a lot simpler in terms of transferring different projects. So let's actually throw a project on here and show you guys how smoothly it performs. All right guys, so we've got a 4K project loaded up over here. And this is from our gender reveal. Back when we didn't know if little Austin was gonna be a boy or a girl. We, threw a little something together, we shot the gender reveal event, and you guys can just see it right here. Playback is really, really smooth. No frames dropping, everything is just as good as you'd want it to be. And what's even cooler about this is if you can look over here up top, this isn't rendered out. And usually for video editing, when something's not rendered out, the playback isn't as smooth, but you can clearly see here, oh, look at Ari. And you guys can clearly see it's just playing super smoothly. Oh, good time. And we shot these with like A7 III cameras, so good quality stuff. And the performance is as we'd expect. So Jay, you know the deal. This fits right into our workflow. We can shoot on this, edit on this, pass it on to each other. It's why we use these drives. Now, I mentioned before, since the Samsung T3, they've been paying a lot of attention to durability. So from the T3, T5, and now to the T7, you don't have to worry about this thing falling or getting damaged because the durability is next level. That's usually a concern when it comes to external hard drives. I've always been a little fearful of taking them around with me because those mechanical drives, you can damage them and potentially lose your data. That is the scariest thing in the world. So when you have a solid state drive that has extra durability, you can feel a lot more confident in just throwing this thing into like your backpack and not even worrying about it. That is one of the other reasons why I had to go ahead and use these drives. The peace of mind that you get from not having to worry about these things getting damaged, priceless. But there you have it, guys. My latest upgrade to the Gadget backpack. And you probably have a better understanding on why this is featured in almost every single Gadget backpack that we do every year. But do you guys want to see the latest Gadget backpack? Do you want to see this thing covered in 2020? Let me know with a comment down below. I'll have links to the T7 Touch down below as well. Interestingly enough, I think the other versions of the T series solid state drives are still on sale. So if there's one that tickles your fancy, check them out. But this is the latest and greatest, and with the security features, it's a no-brainer. It's a pretty solid deal for a solid state drive. Trust your boy. But that about wraps it up for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you did, be the cool guy or girl that gives this video a thumbs up. And I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your average consumer. Peace. 2 terabytes, Jay. And this tiny thing. Yeah.